In this video we're looking at the mortising machine. So mortising machine is widely used to cut square holes, so mortises, to make mortise joints quickly, accurately and repeatedly. It cuts using a drill bit inside a hollow square chisel that trims the sides of the holes. The machine has a depth stop set to cut particular depths, so whether it is a true mortise, goes the whole way through the piece, or a stop mortise, say we didn't want to see it on a table leg, we can hide it by doing a stop to cut. So different sized chisels are used for various sized mortises. The workpiece rests on a movable table and is secured against the fence with a clamp. The table can move from side to side or forward to back using an adjustable wheel. When mortising a hole all the way through the piece, a hole is cut halfway through from one side, and then the piece is reversed and cuts towards the middle from the other side. So you're just literally flipping the piece around and working from the other side. We don't work the whole way through, same when we're chiseling with a trench. Why? Because we're going to get breakout and it'll damage out the bottom of our piece. So on the first part of the worksheet, it asks us to, first of all, in the space provided, sketch an isometric exploded view of a Mortise and Tenon joint, and don't forget to label the parts and title your sketch. So the title of the sketch is an isometric exploded view of a Mortise and Tenon joint, and in the next slide I'll show you the names of the parts. So I have two options for everybody. Some people were asking the last time that they wanted to see just someone actually sketching it out by hand, so I have a different video on how to sketch it by hand, just me going through it sketch by line, and I'll give you the link to that video if you want to take a look at that. But I strongly advise you to first of all watch the animated PowerPoint presentation of line by line coming through, so you get an idea of the steps that you follow first of all. Okay, so another point too, I have a little screen grab of halfway through the video. My advice is pick dimensions that will suit you. Okay, so I made the overall length of my vertical piece with the mortise in it 15 squares high on that front corner, and then I went up at 30 degrees on my isometric 4 squares back and 3 squares to the right. So I went up 15. Why? Because usually on my piece, if I was marking it out, it'd be 150 long, or it'd be 44, 44, 44, or 50, 50, 50. So if I made 15, I can go 5, 5, 5, and I get nice even spacing for my mortise. And it's the same with my tenon. I went 3 squares wide. I can go 1, 1, 1, and I can get, same as if it was on my piece. If my piece was 30 mil thick, I would be measuring in 10, 10, 10. So just make life that bit easier for you when you're actually sketching it. Okay. So starting off the sketch, what do? You start off with a vertical line, then you go off to the right and off to the left. So using your isometric grid, count up 15 steps, then count 4 to the left and 3 to the right, and that'll make life so much easier for you when you're sketching it out. Then when you break it up into thirds, you're just stepping up 5, 5, 5, like so. Then to get the tenon, again, break it up into thirds. You stepped over 3, so go 1, 1, 1, and then you can get the tenon like so. Okay. Project back your lines to the piece, mark out your mortise, the location of your mortise. And then once you have that done, all you're doing is you're going in over heavy all your different parts. Again, something new for a lot of people today, if you haven't done graphics before, is don't forget the hidden detail. So we draw in hidden detail using broken dotted lines. So you just draw in your hidden detail like so. So those are the parts that we don't actually see. We know they're there, but we can't see them. So if you look at the little sketch over on the right, we know that we can't see them, but we actually know that there's a hole in that piece. So we want to demonstrate to the person looking at this sketch, okay, there actually is a hole there and we need to know about it. Okay, so that's our hidden detail. So dotted lines. So the parts, so we have a mortise, we have a tenon, so those are the two parts, and then we have different parts to each part. So we have shoulder lines on our tenon, then inside in our mortise we have a cheek. On the tenon then we have an edge in purple, and then the face is the red part to the tenon. Okay, so think about it. You have face is the part, and then you have a cheek on the inside. So think inside of the mortise, that's the cheek, and then outside is your face, and then the top is the edge, and then the shoulders. Think your head is on your shoulders. Okay. So then in the second part of this worksheet, it asks us to state 3 important safety points should be taken into consideration when using mortising machine. So 3 important safety points are: wear eye protection, keep hands clear of the cutter, and report all faults immediately. So also we have 2 images up here at the top. So there's all the different types of sizes hollow mortise chisels you can have. There's someone using the mortiser with the piece clamped securely, and just a few isometric sketches or views of the mortise and the piece, then when it is getting cut out, and then a small little sketch of a mortise and tenon being exploded. Okay. So starting off sketching the drill bit, then part 3 asks us to complete the sketch below of the hollow, square, mortise, chisel and drill bit. So you guys are all given these blue parts here, basic outline, you're asked to finish it. It's really simple. Don't be afraid to draw a drill bit. A drill bit is really simple if you know how to do it. How do you draw a drill bit? It's really simple. Just draw these two little V shapes and space them out. Okay, so just draw VV, VV on the top. So not a normal V, kind of like you squished it down flat, and we're going into about 1/3 of the width of the thickness of the drill bit part, like so. And then you just do the same on the bottom. It's going in about 1/3 on the width, like so. Then this is the important trick. You join the start of the end of the top V to the middle of the bottom V. Then the next one, join the middle of the top V to the start of the bottom V. And you just do that with all the different V's. Okay, so the first one goes from the end of the top V down to the middle of the bottom V, and then the second one goes from the middle of the top V to the start of the bottom V, like so. It's already looking like a drill bit. Okay, then the ends, just join them in, fill in the gaps. Then the end, it just comes to a little peak, like so, and then close in the back. Then drawing the hollow chisel, then it's just a load of cylinders. Drawing in your heavy lines, you have most of that outline already. So there's a slight curve sometimes to the shank, like so. And then drill bits also, a lot of it is in the shading. Okay, so remember our nice heavy outline, and then we go thinner, finer lines on the inside that aren't touching the outside, and then drill bits are all in the shading, shaded in nice and heavy, and it looks perfectly like a drill bit. Okay, and that's you done.